morning, my dear students. Myself, Mahesh B. Koot, and I am your new chemistry lecturer. So, in this class, we are going to discuss regarding thermodynamics chapter. That is, I think, 6th chapter of first PU. So, thermodynamics means what? Carefully see the name. Thermodynamics. Split the word thermo and dynamics. In Greek, thermo means heat. Dynamikos means movement or change. So thermodynamics simply called as heat change or heat movement. Okay. So in theoretically, thermodynamics is a branch of science which deals with the interchange of heat energy with other form of energy. Thermodynamics is a branch of science which deals with the interchange of heat energy with other form of energy during physical and chemical processes. So that is called thermodynamics. In simple meaning, thermo means heat, dynamics means movement. Therefore, heat movement or heat change is called thermodynamics. So in this chapter, before going to the study of this chapter, you must know some characteristic observations, what we can call terms of thermodynamics. So what are those terms? Firstly, thermodynamic terms. In that, first one, system. So what is thermodynamic system? So you can take an example of if you are having glass full of water. One glass full of water. So in this glass full of water, we are taking, this is whatever we are taking for observation, that is called a system. And except system, whatever there around the glass of water, that is called surrounding. That means system is one which is under investigation. System is any object which is under investigation. System is an object which is under investigation. Which is under investigation. So, for example, I have given an example of glass full of water. That glass full of water itself we are taking for observation. Therefore, that is called a system. The except system, the entire part of the universe, that is called surrounding. You can quote system is a part of universe which is under investigation, and surrounding means the remaining part of the universe except system. Except system, whatever there in the entire world, that is called surrounding. So what is surrounding then? Surrounding is a part of universe except system. Surrounding is a part of universe except system. जो भी सिस्टम को छोड़ के रखता है ना यूनिवर्स में, उसको क्या बोलते हैं हम? सराउंडिंग. ओके. सो हियर in a glass full of water, we have taken an example. In a glass full of water, the glass full of water is called a system, and except that glass, whatever their entire world except this one, that is called surrounding. And we are taking a glass full of water. That water itself is called a system. Remaining part is called a surrounding. Whatever that glass is there, that glass shield is called a boundary. So what is boundary then? Boundary is any object which separates system and surrounding. Understood? So boundary is an object which separates system from surrounding. Yes? So this is system, surrounding and boundary. Third one, types of systems. Now you understood system and surrounding. Now what are the types of systems? In system, there are three types. One is open system, another one is closed system, and third one is isolated system. First one, open system. Second one, closed. Third one, isolated. So, closed, second, third one, isolated. what is open system? You know already what is system. Now what is open system? Open system is a system in which both energy and mass are interchanged with surrounding. That means what? You can take an example of, again same, glass of an water, glass full of water. Here no cap is there. So that glass full of water, the water can be evaporated outside and the water can lose its heat. Is it? So here both mass can be interchanged with system and surrounding, as well as the energy can be interchanged with system and surrounding. So here such type of systems are called open system, where both energy and mass both are interchanged with system and surrounding. What about closed? Closed system is one where only energy is interchanged between system and surrounding, no mass is interchanged. So can you give an example for this? Yes, here we will take a glass full of hot water and there is a cap for this. We have closed the cap of that one, neck of that one. So here no vapors are going outside. That means no mass is exchanged between system and surrounding. This glass full of water is called a system, right? Remaining part of the universe is called surrounding. Here hot water we are left here. We are keeping here hot water and we are closing this with some other vessel. So what happens here is the vapors of the water will not go outside. That means the vapors, nothing but a mass, will not exchange between system and surrounding. So no mass is interchanged. Mass will not interchange from system and surrounding. But if you keep this water for some time, you are observing that the water is cooled down. The hot water is cooled down. That indicates what? There is no mass is interchanged between system and surrounding, but there is an heat is exchanged. Heat is exchanged between system and surrounding. Therefore, there is a cooling nature there. So water is cooled out, heat is exchanged. Therefore, we call it as a energy is interchanged between this system and entire surrounding. Therefore, water is cooled down. Understood? So if both energy and mass are interchanged with surrounding, we are getting that is called as a open system. Example, glass full of water, that is open neck. We are not closed the neck of that glass. Second one, closed system. Here mass does not interchange with surrounding, but energy can interchange with surrounding. Example is a glass full of hot water with closed vessel. So the neck of that one should be closed so that no matter goes outside, only inside. Only the heat energy is interchanged. That is called energy may be interchanged with system and surrounding, but mass will not interchange with system and surrounding. Such as systems are called closed systems. I hope you understood this one. Second. Third one, isolated system. Here no energy and no mass are interchanged. No energy and no mass are interchanged between system and surrounding. So here example is your thermos. Have you heard that? Thermostat and all. So there, if you keep in hot water or hot chai, whatever, hot tea or something, there is no cap is there. There is no matter exchange between system and surrounding. And if you keep there some time, you are getting the hot chai or hot water same for longer time. That means no heat also exchanged between system and surrounding. Understood? So no heat is exchanged between system and surrounding. No mass is interchanged between system and surrounding. Such as systems are called isolated systems. Which systems? Isolated systems. I hope you understood. Example for isolated system is thermostat or thermoflask. You can write there. Understood? So this is three types of system. One is open system, closed system, isolated system. Open system example, the glass full of water with open neck. Open here. Here both water also can vaporize and go out and heat also can go out. Second one, closed system. Here example is what? Glass full of hot water and closed with a vessel. Here closed container because no vapors are going outside. That means no mass is interchanged. Only energy is interchanged between system and surrounding. What about isolated? Isolated systems are the systems in which neither mass nor energy are interchanged. Mass is also not interchangeable between system and surrounding. Energy is also not interchangeable between system and surrounding. Example, thermostat or thermoflask or your thermos. You can take an examples. Understood? So this is regarding types of systems. Now we'll switch on to the process. What is process? Thermodynamic process. And what are the types of processes? Okay, let us move on. Fourth term is process. Types of process, what we can call. So before moving to the types of process, you should know what are the thermodynamical processes. Process is an operation which brings about changes in the state of the system. What is state? State means you know already, physical states, solid, liquid, gases. So if you the thermodynamical quantity which changes the state, then that is called process. That means process is an operation, thermodynamical operation, which brings about the change in the state of the system. Understood? So how this one is happened? This is accompanied by change in heat or heat energy. Understood? So that is called a process. So in thermodynamical process, there are four processes are there. First one, isothermal process. Second one, isobaric process. Third one, isochoric process. And fourth one, adiabatic process. Now we will switch on to one by one. Okay, first one, isothermal process. Look at the name, guys. Iso means same. Thermal means temperature. So isothermal means, so in this process happens during which there is a constant temperature is there. Constant temperature means temperature will not change here. Are you getting? So isothermal process is a process during which constant temperature remains. Temperature remains constant. That means T is constant. If T is constant, what about T1? T1 is equal to T2. Initial temperature and final temperature both are same. So if T1 is equal to T2, what about del T? Del T means change in difference in temperature. T2 minus T1 is equal to, both are same, hence we are getting 0. If T is constant, what about dt? Dt, you know already in mathematics, any term which is having constant, the differentiation of that one should be 0. Understood? Temperature is constant, T1 is equal to T2, delta T is constant, delta T means change in temperature, as well as dt is also 0. Because T is constant means differentiation of that should be 0. Understood? So what is isothermal process, guys? Isothermal process, iso means same, thermal means temperature. So isothermal process is a process in which, during which temperature should be constant. T should be constant there. So there must be a pressure and value. Are you getting? Pressure value may changes, but temperature remains constant. You can quote another statement here. You know already ideal gas equation. PV is equal to nRT. So you know already PV is equal to nRT. N is constant, R is constant. In this case, T is also constant. Therefore, we should write PV is constant. Is it okay? PV is constant for isothermal process. Remember, PV is constant for isothermal process. Understood? Second one, isobaric. Look at the name, isobaric. Iso means same. Bar, you know already, bar is a unit for pressure. That means isobaric process is a process during which pressure remains constant. Here what is constant? P. Pressure is constant. So if P is constant, what we are getting then? If P is constant, P1 is equal to P2. Yes, if T is constant, T1 is equal to T2. That means initial pressure and final pressure. So if P1 is equal to P2, what about del P? Del P means P2 minus P1. Final pressure minus initial pressure. There we are getting 0. Because both are same, right? Same quantity means we are getting 0. Similarly, if P is constant, again in mathematics we have studied, so differentiation of P should be 0 because the P is constant. Any constant term, differentiation of constant term is always 0. So we are getting dP also equal to 0. Are you getting, guys? So what is isobaric process? Isobaric process is a process in which pressure of the system remains constant. What is isothermal process? Isothermal process is a process during which temperature remains constant. Understood? Third one, isochoric process. Third one is isochoric. So again same here, look at here guys, name. Iso means same. Core is a unit for volume, remember. Core is a unit for volume. So what is isochoric process then? Isochoric process is a process in which volume remains constant. What is constant here? Volume. V is constant. If V is constant, what about V1? V1 is equal to V2. Initial volume and final volume during the system process is constant. So therefore, what about del V? Del V means final volume minus initial volume. That should be, both are same means this quantity should be, difference of that quantity should be 0. And you know V is constant, then what about dV? V is constant means differentiation of any constant term is always equal to 0. Remember this. This is isochoric process. I hope you understood. Last one, adiabatic process. Adiabatic. So this is somewhat different. Isochoric means volume remains constant. Adiabatic means here no heat is interchanged. That means heat remains constant here during the process. Adiabatic process is a process during which heat of the system remains constant. Heat of the system means Q. Q remains constant here. No heat is interchangeable between system and surrounding. So here this is just like an isolated system, right? Like that, but it is not exactly that. Okay. So only heat remains constant during the process, then it is called adiabatic process. Understood? So if Q is constant, Q1 is equal to Q2. Therefore, del Q is equal to Q2 minus Q1. And you know already both are same quantities. Therefore, this one minus this one will be 0. And dQ, you know already Q is constant. What about dQ? dQ is 0 we are getting. Are you getting? This is adiabatic process. I hope you understood. So these are the types of processes. So shall I recall this one? Quickly I will recall. Types of processes. So process means any thermodynamical operation which brings about the change in state of the system. So in thermodynamical process there are 4 processes. First one isothermal process, second one isobaric process, third one isochoric process, and fourth one adiabatic process. What is isothermal process, guys? Iso means same, thermal means temperature. So if temperature remains constant during the reaction, then that is called isothermal process. T is constant, del T is 0 and dt is 0. What is isobaric? Isobaric means the iso means same, baric means pressure. So pressure unit it is. So isobaric process is a process in which pressure remains constant during the process. P is constant, del P is 0 and dP is also 0. What about isochoric? Iso means same, choric, core is a unit for volume. So therefore isochoric means volume remains constant during the process. V is constant and del V is 0, dV is 0. Last one, adiabatic process. Adiabatic process is a process during which heat remains constant. So final heat and initial heat both are same. Therefore, del Q, heat change during the process is 0 and dQ also 0. I hope you understood. So this is regarding thermodynamical process, 4th term. Now we will go to the 5th term, that is thermodynamical properties. 2 properties are there, intensive property and extensive property. We will look up that. Fifth term is thermodynamical properties. There are two properties. First one is intensive property, another one is extensive property. First one, intensive property. Second one is extensive property. What is intensive property and what is extensive property, guys? So intensive, remember here, in for independent. Intensive property is a property which is independent of mass. In for independent, remember that. Intensive property is a thermodynamical property which is independent of mass. That means these properties are not dependent on mass. Like you can go for PTC here. PTC means pressure, temperature, concentration, density, viscosity, surface tension, all comes here in intensive property. What about extensive property? Extensive property is a thermodynamical property which depends on the mass. Which depends on the mass means here mass, volume, internal energy, Gibbs free energy. So like that terms comes here. Are you getting? So what is intensive property then? Intensive property is a property, yes, which is independent of mass. Independent of mass of the system. Here extensive property is a property which is depends on mass of the system. Which depends on mass of the system. Are you getting? Any example for intensive property? Examples are, I have already shared already. PTC, pressure, temperature, concentration, yes, density, viscosity, surface tension, all comes here. Extensive property is a property which is depends on the mass of the substance. Here examples are mass. First one is a mass. Next, volume, mass, volume, internal energy, yes, Gibbs free energy. These all are example for extensive properties. I hope you understood this one. This is fourth term, thermodynamical properties. You can quote a difference between these two also. Yes, another thing, remember, always ratio of extensive property is always intensive. Here volume also comes here. Remember, ratio of extensive property always intensive. For example, see here, it is a density comes in intensive property. What is density? Density is mass divided by volume, right? Mass is extensive property. Volume is extensive property. So ratio means divided by. So ratio of two extensive properties is always we are getting intensive. You can take an example of density. Density here we are getting mass by volume. Mass is in extensive property, volume is also extensive property. Both are extensive. So if you take a ratio, we are getting density. That density comes under intensive property. Remember one note, always ratio of any two extensive property is intensive property. Understood? So what is intensive? Intensive property is a property which is independent of the mass of the substance. And what about extensive? Extensive property is a property which depends on the mass of the substance. I hope you understood. So this one is regarding some terms which are used in the thermodynamics. Yes, in next coming classes, we are going to discuss the next part, that is nothing but thermodynamical laws, first law, second law, application of the thermodynamical laws, work done during these all processes we have to study in the next class. Thanks for watching. Thank you.